Hello, baby.
I was crazy once.
I'm thinking of a number.
Good morning, everyone.
Oh, guten Tag.
I have I have some bad news. I've been turned into a baby.
What?
Yeah, I've been turned into a
Look
baby.
who's talking.
And who's afraid of Virginia Woolf?
Oh, me.
Yep. That came up as a trivia question, and I mean, it's kind of a famous movie title, I guess. But it was like, I think the round was on like question, like everything is a question or something like that. Mm-hmm. And then it said something about an author in 1970s film. I'm like, oh, it's Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf. I feel like that's pretty easy, I think.
Yeah.
That's an easy question.
It's like, okay, so it specifically mentioned an author? Yeah, that's it.
Because we were like, is it Waiting for Godot? But like, oh, that's not a question. Or maybe it's like everything in the round is about questions. So like, maybe the answer wasn't a question, but like, we were trying to like Waiting for Godot is not a question.
What if instead of Waiting for Godot, it was called like, excuse me, do you know what time Godot will be here?
That sounds even more pretentious. I love pretentious movie titles and book titles. You know, Waiting for Godot. Like, what's the most? I mean, we've said this before many times. But
Collateral Beauty.
Yeah, Collateral Beauty.
That shit's so funny, man. We gotta like watch that movie. That's the one where it's like they gaslight Will Smith.
Yes.
Into thinking he's being visited by like guardian angels or something, right?
And then he's meeting like the manifestation of like love and like death and everything.
And it's like his coworkers doing this for him, just like the people that he goes into the office with. That's crazy. Imagine if your coworkers did that. I feel like that's
they care about you.
That's grounds for the weird, like the wildest lawsuit of all time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. I can't imagine. Like he's like sad or something, and they like try and cheer him up.
Because his like daughter died, and they're like, "Fucking,
oh, shit.
Like get over it."
Is this 2016? It's got 14%. Fantasy drama. He suffers a great tragedy.
Nice. He slapped somebody. Remember that?
Yeah, that's
he runs
right.
Up on
I
stage.
do. I remember like we were there. Well, not we were not in the Kodak theater wherever they film it, but they we saw it live, right? Like we saw it happen. We were like, TV. Holy shit!
Well, because I think what happened is someone was like, did he just slap him? Did Will Smith just slap Chris Rock? Guys, remember the slap? And then I think we went back because we were trying to figure out if it was a bit or not. And as we discovered, not a bit. It is kind of like, I know it's like old hat to talk about these kinds of things, but that shit was so funny when it happened. Especially Will Smith winning like Best Actor like 10 minutes later.
Yeah, like that is crazy.
Remember the La La Land?
Oh yeah, I remember the La La
that
Land
was
one.
good too.
See,
at the Academy Museum, they have like they mention the La La Land thing, but they do not talk about the slap. That is not brought up.
It's like one's kind of humorous, the other one is bad.
Or maybe it's like with distance, you know, like the other one was like a while ago. The La La Land thing, and they're like, we fixed it, but they can't fix Will Smith. Do they
have one on Adele Dazeem? Is there a thing on that?
Adele Dazeem? Like, there's no like.
Is that the Oscars?
I don't know if that was the Oscars. That might have been like the Tonys or something. They should have it anyway. They should have like here's.
It is the 2014 Oscars. It is the 2014 Oscars. So, the wickedly talented
Adele Dazeem.
I think what people should like get on more or like reference more is like the wickedly talented part. You know what I mean? Like I think it's just this is really funny
because he says it really crazy too. He goes like wickedly talented.
Yeah. I mean, it should be like whenever you see Ryan Gosling, should be like Mr. La La Land himself. Like you should reference as a nickname. Your nickname should always be on like your most famous project.
Yeah. What if you were like Ryan Gosling? Look at God only judges or whatever. Only God can judge. I'm trying to think of his less successful one.
Ryan Gosling least successful movie.
Look at you, Mr. Almost in the Lovely Bones. Was it the Lovely Bones he was almost in?
The movie with Timothée Chalamet?
No, that's Bones and All. Lovely Bones
I'm
was that Dakota Fanning or something? I don't know. Maybe one of the Fannings.
It's another crime movie, right? Or like murder movie or something?
Yeah, he plays like a serial killer. And so what happened in that movie is he like was cast, and then he talked to the director and was like, I think my character should be fat. And they were like, you know, we didn't really envision that. He's like, okay. And so then he spent like the months of pre-production like getting fat. And then he showed up to set and he's like, hey guys, I'm ready to shoot. And they're like, you're fired. And they got someone else.
I have not heard that story ever, actually. And that sounds insane. The Lovely Bones is what you're saying?
Lovely Bones,
yeah.
Yes.
Fired. He gained 60 pounds by drinking melted ice cream to play the father in Peter Jackson's... Oh, Peter Jackson did it.
Mm-hmm.
And they gave it to Mark Wahlberg.
That's so funny, man.
Yeah, Ryan Gosling versus Mark Wahlberg. His least successful movie based on critical reception is the psychological drama Stay, which I've never heard of.
When did that come out?
2005.
Oh,
I don't know what this is.
It's about the most still man.
Oh my god! Directed by Mark Forster, who did like Quantum of Solace. Oh my god,
Mr. Mark.
Wow, it's got Stay. It's got Ewan McGregor, Naomi Watts, Bob Hoskins. Wow, it's got everybody in this fucking
stacked
movie.
cast.
A box office failure.
No.
Worldwide gross of 8.4 against a $50 million budget. 26% on Rotten Tomatoes. Wow. Even the tomatoes can't save you. Can you write that down? Is that funny?
Even the tomatoes can't save you. I'll send that in chat. Yeah.
That's a quote from the Tummyverse movie. Yeah, you guys remember that?
Oh my god, we gotta get back to the Tummyverse.
Yeah. I think I went to my girlfriend's grad show. There was like an artist, I think, who had like a bunch of like plates or whatever and like food, like and I guess they're anthropomorphic. I guess they're living food, but they're not like humanoid. You know what I mean? Like they still look. Is that the definition of anthropomorphic? They look like human, anthro, right? Like that's the whole point.
Yeah.
Anyway, these were just because
VeggieTales
is not anthropomorphic. Yeah. They are literally what they look like.
They are vegetables. You know?
Yeah.
If they had like arms and legs.
But that's the whole thing about VeggieTales. They have neither of those.
They just have faces.
Yeah.
So I guess like in that case is like food fight. That is the lowest level of like anthropomorphization, I guess, because it's like all we're doing here. They have little spindly limbs, right? But other than that, they're all still.
It's weird, right? Because like humans don't see them like that, right? Like it's like a weird thing.
So humans don't see the little limbs, or like it's not like a Toy Story where they just like close their eyes like real tight and you can't see it.
Wait, what are you talking about with Toy Story?
Well, I'm just assuming, I'm assuming that it's like Toy Story. You know how they just have to go still. I was like, does the food? Do they have to like consciously be like, I'm going still now?
I'm going food mode. I think there's a clip.
Mode.
Because it's like they're screaming, right, and like they're trying to get out of like this carrot bowl before they get like washed and chopped up, but like they can't move, but they do have feet, I think.
Oh boy, do they have feet! And I have spent a lot of time.
What's it called? Food Wars?
This.
No, it's not called Food Wars.
No, it's called Food Fight. Food Fight.
Food Fight.
No, Food Fight's the one with the mascots, dude.
Oh wait, okay, I'm thinking of Sausage Party.
Yeah. Yeah, they have like animation arms and legs and stuff like that. Yeah, this movie's crazy. I forgot about this movie. I didn't forget. I mean, I don't think actively about this movie, which is.
Well, you should.
Yeah, it's crazy that he's like an erect penis. A hero will rise. I mean, that's exactly what they're talking about. Like they're intentionally doing the sexual innuendos. Hey guys, welcome to Style and Direction, Adventure Podcast.
That's right.
Yeah. this movie, yeah, believe it or not, I mean, at some point, this is just going to be a movie podcast, I feel like. We already do it once a month. We talked about
we're going to get there,
Train
man.
Dreams. You know, it's going to be about the movie podcast stuff. Talking about Crime 101. Talking about Stay, I guess, the Ryan Gosling movie.
About Stay? That would be funny if we started talking about, like, Stay. If
I'm sure that there's a podcast
like
where they talk about, like, every famous actor, or just any actor's, like, worst movie. You know what I mean? And they watch it. Yeah. I wonder what the most overlap is. I guess for that particular film, Stay, because it's so low, I'm sure that would also count for Ewan McGregor and Naomi Watts, unless they each have a movie that has a lower score than that movie. Then I guess the cycle continues, I guess.
The cycle continues.
That's right. Not even the tomatoes can save you.
Not even the tomatoes can save you now. That is that's a cellar door style phrase.
What does that mean?
It's just beautiful. It sounds beautiful to say.
Oh, why is it? I don't know. I'm not familiar with the phrase, the cellar door.
Oh, cellar door. It's just like, it's considered to be the most beautiful phrase in the English language.
I see.
By experts.
Why is it called a cellar door?
I don't know. It just sounds nice.
But
try
like,
saying
do you put stuff on cellar doors, like, or
no? It's
because the phrase itself. I see what you're saying.
It has nothing to do with the physical object.
Like, this is not what
door.
Yeah, this is not something you would put on your cellar door, unless that's what you want to do on your cellar door. Like that's so good that you want to frame it there. But why would you put it in the living room?
We're saying cellar door so much. This is gonna be like the highest rated episode because just sonically like it's gonna be the best.
Yeah, they're gonna come from this. Talk about a Hero World Rise. Talk about when you listen to this, you're gonna be like the poster of Sausage Party. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, hell yes.
Yeah.
You're gonna be like me when I see the poster of Sausage Party, if you know what I mean.
You're gonna it's like poetry. It rhymes because you're gonna look just like the poster.
Yeah, it's a poster that looks back at you.
It's the Haunted Mansion thing, where no matter where you look at it, you're also erect. No matter.
Oh, they should do that. They should have a statue
like
with
a porn museum
boner. So the boner's always pointing at you whenever you walk around.
Yeah, why isn't that at the like adult film expo? Like it should be like sexual. I mean, I'm sure there is actually. I'm sure
they should have like sexual scientific experiments and illusions.
Wait, I was just saying, Spencer, you described an illusion. What's the experiment part of it? Like, what are you trying to prove here?
You're trying to like prove many things. Like what is sex? What is it? What the hell is it?
Yeah. What does this have to do with pussy?
Exactly.
This is.
He's in the news.
Yeah. Do you guys miss these kinds of openings? I mean, let us know in the comments how much you hate this shit, because this is not what I imagined going in here. Much like when I watched the Mystery Door movie, I guess. I don't know. But I'm a baby because I have a bib. Guys,
whoa,
a bib,
or you're at a lobster fest.
Okay, yeah,
or barbecue.
You could be at like Boiling Crab, I think is the other one that people go to.
Yeah, they do go there.
Yeah, I want to go to there.
Don't go there. Hey, don't order the ham.
Do not.
The MG doesn't even know about that one. That's the craziest part.
We were talking about. Okay, let's talk about
Spencer, get into this. Yeah, dude, this is fucking insane.
So Heathcliff is in the news, but not that other Heathcliff. So everyone's talking about Wuthering Heights. Everyone's talking about Jacob Elordi, but no one's talking about America's second favorite orange cat, Heathcliff. Who I was explaining.
Put the damn thing in the thing.
I'll put it in the chat. Yeah,
put the craziest. Put the craziest one. That's the most.
I'll just
absurd.
put a couple. I'll put a couple. But there's a running gag in the Heathcliff cartoons where he wears a helmet that says something on it. And that's it. So like I'm sending you this one, and this is kind of like the platonic ideal of a Heathcliff helmet cartoon, where he is standing in a deli, Heathcliff, wearing a helmet that says ham on it, and then the butcher says, "Don't order the ham." And so that's one.
The whole thing is crazy.
Here's another one. This is my favorite. This is one of my favorites. Maybe this is the one that just got sent in Discord. It is, yes. There's a flag planted in the ground that says ham.
No, that's
Heathcliff
not the one
is walking next to it, wearing a helmet that says meat. And then there are two birds wearing crumb and worm helmets. Things seem a little off today, is what he's saying.
Yeah. Here's the thing. I like when Spencer said I thought that these were made like the 60s. Like, when did Heathclif come out? Like in 1960 something or whatever?
I don't know. I think Heathcliff and Garfield actually came out pretty close to each other.
Heathcliff comic strip started in 1973. Okay, got it. I was gonna say
a couple years before Garfield.
Yeah. I was gonna say that the Heathcliff thing, like, this is like way ahead of its time. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is just a wacko, crazy like humor, but this is apparently like 2 years ago.
Yeah, this is recent. This is like Heathcliff's is still ongoing, and it's crazy. I'm looking at old ones, and like I found one from the 70s that is like so normal. It's like an old lady with Heathcliff at a diner, and she says a vanilla fudge sundae and a raw fish. And I think the joke is like he's gonna fucking eat the shit out of that raw fish. But like that's the whole thing. It's not like there's no helmet.
Is the lady next to him
so freaked out?
Yeah, she's like drunk on that on that milkshake here. Like I don't understand what's happening.
Yeah.
Like okay, the one I'm looking at is like Heathcliff is like in his like cat bed, but like his mom or like his owner is like vacuuming. She's feet up, dear. You know how like men are just like lounging around while slow wives do it. But like that's the joke of that. I get it. Haha. Like fucking patriarchy. Like that's making fun of the whole like 70s or the 70s version of the 50s ideal of like the husband doing nothing. But again, like the helmet thing is crazy to me. Like this is an insane thing here. Like
did I show you this one? Hold on, I'm gonna send this one in chat. This is like one of the best. Because of just his helmet.
Yeah. Yeah, show it to me. This. Yeah.
Show me to me.
I preferred when he did this is really funny. This is top tier. I preferred when he did landscapes and he has a helmet that says nudes. I mean
Can I please get the nudes helmet?
That's crazy.
Yeah, when is the Heathcliff online store going to be selling that, man?
Yeah, I feel like if I look up nude helmet, I'm not going to get like what I'm looking for. Actually, yeah,
we can make it. We just need to get like a bike helmet painted flesh colored and paint nudes on it.
Yeah, and the word nude is what you're saying, right? That's the whole thing here. I'm a baby because I have a bib shirt. I bought a bib shirt. I said this a couple episodes ago. I bought the bib shirt. And I wrote all about it. And, sorry, let me clear my throat real quick here. Yeah, we're going to do the opposite of cellar doors and make it all gross and just like crumple paper.
All grumbly.
Yeah. And it came in, and I didn't want to look like General Custer. Like that's like the first thought I thought of when I got it.
How about General Custard?
Oh, okay. Did he serve at the same time as Colonel Mustard?
Yes, they were in the Food Wars together.
Yeah. How about the Pumice Wars? Wait, Pumice, that's still a stone. Pumice? I was trying to think of like Puce Wars, as in like it was like for colors. You know what I mean? Puce, like. Is it like a shade of pink? Puce?
I don't know. Could be.
Yeah, it's like a shade of pink.
Anything's possible.
So. It means flea color, which is weird because fleas don't look unless that's what fleas look like from a distance. Yeah. So bib shirts, I got the one that has brass buttons on it. I think people have heard probably seen it at this point, but I'm talking about it now. The issue I have with it, well, I have a couple. Well, two things. It has a curve in its front, so it has a kind of like a shield, kind of like a, you know what I mean? But I feel like when it makes the flap thing, it makes it look a little bit different, a little awkward, because it's not like a straight. It's not straight. You know what I'm saying? It curves. But it also has those big ass brass buttons, and when I got it in blue, because it was like a denim shirt, it looked a little custery. So I tried to dye it black, and it I forgot to put in orange, like, you know how when I did my jeans, and so it just came out like navy blue, which was not bad, I will say. I forgot what color yours is, Spencer, but is yours denim also?
It is a denim, yeah.
But yours has pearl snaps?
No, it just has black buttons, plastic buttons.
Yeah, that's probably better. Well, yeah. So like when I had it, like it did look cool. It looked a little Napoleonic, I guess, little thing. But I dyed it properly black by putting in orange, so it took out. Some of the indigo dye in it, or to offset it, and it looks badass in black. Mm-hmm. It looks definitely more like not Panic at the Disco. Is it My Chemical Romance? Like little like military. It looks very like hussar. Yeah. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. In Phantom of the Opera, Raoul wears like a hussar outfit for the masquerade scene, and then remember like in the first Sherlock Holmes, where like they go out to dinner and then Watson wears like a military dress uniform or something like that.
Oh yeah,
and he's like late, I think, or no, he's
late.
Or,
he's late to his wedding or something because
they
were out all night drinking and gambling and getting into chase sequences.
Wait, that's the second one. This is when he's meeting
before their wedding.
No, this is when he's supposed to meet Mary Morstand for the first time. He's engaged. The second one is his wedding.
Oh, okay, I am getting it.
Because the second one is when they go to that crazy, like the gentleman's club with like a gambling thing, and because Mycroft takes them there in his like automotive car.
That's
or whatever.
Right. Yes, they are in an automobile.
Yeah, we gotta talk about the second because we only talked about the first movie, I think, or maybe we gotta talk about the second movie. But anyway, I got it. I'm wearing it. It looks fucking awesome. And here's the thing. I didn't write about this because I want to save myself the embarrassment, but I'll say it on the podcast for our dear listeners. Mm-hmm. So I was like, okay, I want another one. I want like a white cream one or whatever, so I could be like Han Solo. It's like, like a Western take on Han Solo, but like Han Solo is kind of just like a Western. You know what I mean? Like he's like also the whole thing with the Star Wars like little flap shirts, like those are straight up a shout out to Western 50s movies, where people would wear the bib front shirts. The thing in Star Wars is that they don't have buttons. Like they don't like they just like flap off by itself, which is the appeal of the bib front shirt, if you ask me. Like the whole like you guys can read about it yourselves, but like it's got adornment, it's got slouch all in itself. I'm not a fan of leaving collar buttons undone, but the little flap that comes from unbuttoning like the side two buttons just looks really cool. And then it has buttons, which makes it feel like a DB where it feels more ornamented. Like how a DB just feels like extra than like a regular single-breasted jacket. But anyway, I wanted a cream one so I can do like a roundabout way of doing like Star Warsian type of looks. And I bought one. It was from a costuming warehouse. It said like costume, because like the label was costume or whatever. I bought it, and you'll never guess what happened.
No, what happened?
Not only are the buttons non-functional, so there is no flap. There's no back to the shirt. It's like a hospital gown where you tie it because it's a costume. It's a costume piece.
Out of it fast.
Yeah. I went back to the pictures, and I guess I just thought, because I saw the front peeking through the back, that that's the back of the shirt. But I look closer, it's just like, it's kind of like just goes like a little, and not really a slit, like it's just basically like two strips, and then there's like a little tie in the back. And I guess I just didn't think about it. I just, and so I wasted like $40 because like it's like $30 plus shipping or whatever.
I wonder if there's something you can do with it.
I literally have no idea. It's also too small for me.
Maybe you can do a fun little project with it or something. Yeah, since it's open in the back, it would be easy to make larger, I guess.
Yeah, but like my shoulders or whatever. I should have I also should have asked for measurements. This is what happened. Like I've only been burned a couple of times. Like I don't, and it's always random shit like this. Like one time I remember I bought like a Calvin Klein like point collar shirt, and it had my neck size and sleeve size. I got it, and it was slim fit. And I have a feeling that it's not slim fit. Like it wasn't marked. I think that like a previous owner got it slimmed down or something like that. Mm-hmm. But it was like I was gonna bust out of that shit, and it was 100% cotton. It wasn't even like a slim fit stretch non-iron shit. It was just but like it had the old label. It had the label of my size on it, and it was like $15-20, you know, $30 with shipping or whatever the hell it is. And I bought it immediately. I should always, I'm the guy who tells people, look at your measurements. I can't believe that I just didn't like say, hey, can you like measure that for me? Should have done that. I don't know why I didn't do it this time. I need to take my hands off of the eBay button real quick, you know. And
hey, eBay, cool it.
Please,
I'm telling
please.
eBay to cool it.
I gotta
stop posting.
Stop. Yeah. Hey, all you sellers out there, please, all your cellar doors. Is this episode going to be called Cellar Doors?
Cellar Door? It should be, yeah.
Yeah. Cellar Doors. But, yeah, anyway, you guys got to read about my bib front shirt. It's, like, my new favorite thing. It feels very me to have it. You know, like, I don't know. I don't know how you feel. How do you feel about wearing yours, Spencer? I like
it.
You gotta take a picture. You gotta send me the picture.
I know. I typically save it for occasions, which I guess we'll talk about in a second. It's not something that I just wear on the regular because it's a little bit of a cuckoo shirt. It is a little bit different.
Yeah.
And so I don't know, when I'm going to like menswear stuff, that's when I'll wear it or anything related to Western. I don't know. I just wear it as a Western thing, man. I don't try to get too clever with it. I just lean into the whole Western aspect because I feel like.
Well, yeah, what are you wearing with what are you wearing with it, you know? Like
I've worn jeans with it and just do all denim. I've also worn khakis with it. Maybe one time I wore my black Western pants with them. But yeah, just, you know, that with boots, cowboy hat, some, you know, stuff like that. That's how I do it. There
you go. I feel like it's fun to kind of do it. Like, is yours a point collar also, like the neck, or is it like? Because I wish mine were the sport shirt type of collar.
Because mine is the point collar, yeah.
Yeah, because whenever I don't think it looks good to not button it all the way up. I don't know, or do you do that? How do you do it? Like obviously the bib is no the actual neck collar, like the shirt.
Oh, I leave it undone. I leave 2-3 buttons undone. That's my standard.
I guess I
don't know if I would like that. I don't think I would like that with a camp collar shirt. I kind of like it because it's just like a Western shirt. But I also think you just don't like wearing shirts open. Period. Like you only like wearing camp shirts open.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Like I gotta button it all the way up. I feel like the way I like it is I wear it with like a bandana. Like I wear a bandana, like a necktie kind of a thing. I think it's because the collar, because it's a point collar. I just don't like how it looks unbuttoned. It looks like I'm wearing like a regular like H&M ass shirt. You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, yeah, MJ, you gotta get on this bib front shirt action. Yeah. And everyone else should too. If Maximilian Mogg is making bespoke jodhpurs so people can wear riding boots, I'm gonna bring back the bib front shirt for everybody else.
That's gonna be the new one, yeah.
And then everyone else is gonna be like, they're gonna start interviewing like Ralph Lauren and Maximilian Mogg and all these people. They're gonna be like, oh my god, what was it like being crazy with riding boots? And I'll be over there with my Tyrolean hat and riding boots, being like, just clapping by myself. Yeah.
You're just going like 06 mode with everything.
That's right. Yeah, I gotta do
the riding boots. This it's everything. We're going back to the turn of the century over here.
It's because I was writing about like how like obviously everything comes from military wear. The bib front shirt, like apparently there's this really fun video from like some like reenacting small town, like a frontier town that like for like tourists or whatever. And I think it's really good. Like the guy is really funny. It has like 5,000 views, you know, it's like for like Western reenactors, but it has a lot of great pictures. They have a whole bunch of, I don't know how that linked in the blog post, but like apparently it was a fireman shirt. Like it wasn't even like that. I mean, obviously firemen uniforms in general probably have all basis in the military, but like it was a fireman shirt for like extra protection, and of course like a detachable collar shirt, you would remove that bib so you could like still wear a shirt, but then like you just wash the bib front, like with the elements or whatever. And then like Western people wear it, and then like in movies, right, like you have like sheriffs are wearing it, stuff like that, and it is like very militaristic looking. Again, like people, when they saw me wearing it, like a guy commented like, oh, like even though it's Western, like it looks Napoleonic.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because it's like, it's also, it's called a cavalry shirt too. Cause, like,
that's true. Yeah.
Would be worn during the Civil War. So I feel like people kind of have that association with it.
Because it looks like a tunic jacket kind of a thing, you know? Like it's not like it's like combining the elements of the jacket with a shirt. and I think that's what makes it like really, again, like I said earlier, it's like the DB of shirts or whatever. But I was gonna say, like, it's funny with the cavalry shirt and the Western stuff. Like, my point is not to wear it like a Western shirt. Like, I want to wear it like a tunic. And I love Edward Norton as the chauffeur in French Dispatch. And
there you go, yeah.
And like doing again the black bib front shirt with the riding pants and riding boots, like that's what it looks like. And I have some photos of men like with a little like in the 1930s or whatever, when they're wearing like that exact look. And I love that shit. I'm gonna do that. The trick is not looking like a fascist, obviously, but I will figure that out. I think it has to do with neckwear and headwear, maybe. But yeah, I definitely like the whole like aesthetic, like the whole like kind of being closed up, right? Like obviously buttoned all the way to the top with the bib front all the way buttoned up, and then like tall ass boots. Like I feel like being trussed up is like the entire point of this kind of a thing, you know. But yeah, people gotta be into this. People, I mean, you don't have to, but I think it would be cool if they did.
Yeah,
man. Spencer, you said you're into what are you into right now? What are you into?
I have been looking at like 70s and 80s like athletic stuff, just because I see it like a lot in like just like regular thrift stores or like vintage stores and stuff like that. And I've been looking for casual, like non-military, like non-workwear jackets. And I've been liking these a lot. What I'm really looking for is, and I was like hard to even find like photos of this, but like the ones from the 70s that are like sweatshirt fabric, like the starter jackets or coach jackets that are like that jersey knit cotton. I'd really like something like that, but I've been having fun looking on eBay and like checking them out occasionally at like thrift stores. There's something that I think look really good with like Western stuff without just being too much like I'm just straight up dressing like a cowboy. Again, it's not too like military, and so as I'm trying to get more like just like casual stuff, that is definitely something I've been looking at. But I don't know. I know you have like Letterman jackets or varsity jackets or whatever, but do you have anything else like that, or have you ever gotten into the kind of mid-century athletic look?
I mean, after watching Mighty Supreme, I feel like I like having the sweatshirt wearing with like trousers and sneakers. I think looks cool. Like deck shoes are like my way in on that. You know, little Ivy or little kind of preppy mid-century stuff. I love wearing my wrestling varsity jacket, which again, thankfully still fits. But not. I mean, it's like kind of like just an extension of vintage casual. I feel like I haven't gotten like so far into it to wear like the Coach jackets, because I still prefer. I don't know. Like I think I like more of like the Americana workwear. By that I mean like a gabardine work jacket or like the Boy Scout cotton, short jacket stuff like versus like straight up athletic club. However, like if I could find like an athletic tee or a sweatshirt from like the 60s, from like where I grew up in the like the San Gabriel Valley or something like that, I would love that. But like that's more for like local pride, I guess, more than it being like an athletic. But I guess I would wear it in the athletic way.
Yeah,
if that makes sense. I don't know. What about you, MJ? Do you find yourself looking at that kind of stuff?
Sometimes so I guess right now I'm not really looking at a lot of new stuff in general. Still looking at stuff I have.
Good.
So yeah, that's where I'm at now. I mean, as far as like athletic stuff I have, yeah, I mean my own Letterman jacket.
Yeah, because you literally have one.
Yeah. But
do you wear it? At least you obviously still fit into it. Do you find yourself wearing that?
Not really. I just really don't get that many opportunities to wear it. It also is on the heavier side, so it gets warm pretty quickly. And I mean the cut is a little on the bigger side too, because it's a little bigger in high school than I am now, so it's not exactly like it's like, you know, it's not like a vintage, like proportioned jacket as we probably would want to see.
That's yeah, I'm jealous that you have one, but also like I don't have anything like that.
I wonder if there's like any way to like alter it without like I don't know, like running out of material, or like the proportions getting all messed up, you know?
Yeah, I remember I slimmed up some sleeves from like a vintage varsity jacket before, and it was, I guess it's kind of just about like you undo the like it's like the seam through the sleeve and just making it tighter or whatever.
Yeah.
But that's kind of the opposite issue, I feel like. Also, I would recommend. I feel like I wouldn't alter anything, you know.
Right.
I don't think anyone should ever alter anything. Period. Everything should remain exactly the same.
Yeah, if it wasn't built for you, if it wasn't made for you, you shouldn't wear it.
Unfinished for your suit. Mm-hmm. Just, no hem.
These are cool. Is this Mr. Freedom?
This is mostly like Mr. Freedom and some Bronson stuff. I just sent.
Yeah.
The gray sweatpants are Bronson. Everything else is Mr. Freedom, but. This is like another collection I really like. They made kind of like a bunch of like workout athletic stuff.
Warm up attire, I guess.
Yeah.
Tiger stripe shorts.
Like you could see the tiger stripe shorts with the sneakers and the sweatshirt. That's actually like fucking sick. Like imagine going to the gym in that, dude. That rocks.
Well, doesn't Bryceland's have like shorts? Like they have like really short shorts. Yeah,
they got the fucking slutty ass Daisy Dukes, dude.
Yeah, I'm trying to. Here we go. I found.
Are they just cotton ripstop too, or like what is it?
I don't know what the Bryson's one. I think they're made of like cotton, something like that. But there's Ethan Newton wearing one. Like this is like that's so Spencer coded. I mean, Ethan Newton is Spencer coded, is what I'm saying. But like that fit, I feel like I could see Spencer doing like the summertime. Just like slutting it up out there, you know. They are okay. Here we go. UDT shorts. They are cotton twill, 100% cotton twill, and it has a front, and a single patch back pocket. They're like basically swim trunks or whatever, you know. Yeah, you should wear these. You should. There you go.
I think
these are crazy. That's a crazy one. Yeah, these coach jackets, nylon. I guess that's more for like sailing. I guess.
Yeah, I just sent one. This is like a windbreaker that actually this is fucking awesome. One half is green and it says starboard, and the other half is red and it says port. Like I would wear this like every day in the summer, man.
Yeah.
I love looking like a nautical Nancy.
Yeah, so yeah, you're really leaning into that whole thing.
Oh, I am.
Yeah, this whole thing. I mean, it makes sense.
This thing of ours.
Yeah, it makes sense for like your casual take on style and everything like that. I feel like it's a natural extension, you know, to look like like a little like I guess like an old C cap. Like you're gonna coach a class. You're like coaching that class in like community, right? Like the sailing class.
Yeah, there you go. Oh my God, we should do the style of community.
Yeah, the style, like Jeff Winger wearing like John Varvatos jackets with like, I don't know, what's like Express tee. No, he's not wearing Express. He's wearing like Hugo Boss, I think, something like that. He wears like, and his style changes. Like I think at first it was like the whole sweatpants with sport coat, but then it became like 2000s cool hipster guy. Like it was like,
I remember they make a joke in season 1 where they're like, you dress like David Beckham or something. Like that's the kind of like that's the kind of look he was going for at the beginning.
Yeah, and then it becomes like Jeff Winger style, because like he wears like skinny jeans with like boots, I think, right? He's dressed like very cool, I guess. And also he looks.
He says "Milady."
My lord, remember that?
Yeah. Isn't that like what like got Redditors saying "Milady" was when?
Is that what that is? That can't be true. I don't think.
I don't know if that's true.
That's
like,
impossible.
It is. That is kind of. It was around that time. I feel like it was around that time.
Yeah, I just found an article. Oh, not an article. It's a Reddit post about the evolution of Jeff's style. Just talking about his, like how he goes from wearing the track pants with a blazer to like what he is, a man who's handsomer than Ryan Seacrest. You know.
Oh my God, that's right, dude. Look at this fucking look where he's doing the Adidas untucked T-shirt with a sweater vest. This is honestly a crazy ass look. I'm sending it in the Discord right now. Hang on.
Yeah.
Look at this guy.
This is the one I'm looking at. Yep, that's an insane outfit. And then he goes to just wearing crew necks, and because he becomes he's like a regular dude later on. Yeah. Oh yeah.
He was like a lawyer who was practicing without a license or something, right?
No, well, I don't know how it works because like he's a lawyer, he passed the bar, but he doesn't have a college degree, so like he could still be a lawyer after he finishes his college degree.
You don't have to. If you pass the bar, you're a lawyer, man. But he just didn't go to law school, and so he got fired.
No, he doesn't have a college degree. Like that's the part that I think. But I don't. You don't have to go to law school to get it, but you do have to have a degree, I think. So it's like if he just gets it, then everything valid. I'm assuming that's just how it works. He has like 2010s guy with like the kind of like military like field jacket in dark with like a giant ass watch. That's his whole
It's look. Also so funny to me that like Dan Harmon was like Jeff Winger. That's me. Like I'm that guy.
That is an insane thing to claim. Like you can't. Like that's. I mean, I'm sure like George Lucas is like I'm Luke Skywalker. George Luke Skywalker.
Luke Skywalker. Star Wars.
Lucifer
George
Safin.
Starkiller.
Yeah, George Starkiller. That one's the crazier one, I think.
Unleashed.
That's
Sam
Galen
Witwer.
Merrick. Yeah. At last, we will reveal ourselves to the Jedi. That's Peter Serafinowicz, not Sam Witwer. I have a final thing for you guys here today. I think this is interesting. I was talking with my friend Jose, who I met because he bought pair of boots for me. I finally got rid of those bad boys that I feel like were just too big, and I'll buy new ones in Japan when I get to try them on, because no one here in Los Angeles, even in New York, stocks anything under than a 40 in pair of boots, and I think I need to try them on before I get them. But anyway, so we've been becoming good friends. We've hung out a lot, and we were, I love having a nice philosophical menswear discussion, as I normally do. And we talked about he brought up something, because he works in a very corporate job, and we were kind of talking about like what he wears to work, and and all this kind of like this. He likes Japanese jeans, Japanese salvage jeans. He likes wearing sport coats and everything like that. And we talked about how he's able to be himself to work, because obviously I'm a little bit of an anomaly where I get to wear whatever I want because I don't physically see anybody ever during the work days. And he said that he was doing some experimentation because it's a new job for him. He kind of started a couple months ago, and he wants to get people used to his style. And he came up with a concept that I'm sure that we've internalized, but we haven't we've never gave it a name. But he called it the Aperture of Acceptability, which I think sounds hilarious. Sounds kind of corporate speak, very synergy, revenue,
APIs.
Dynamics, But I like what he said, because you would assume that someone, corporate guy talking about this in a very this kind of like lingo thing, would be kind of rigid, but he had a very open way of talking about it. Well, I guess his version of it is that it's open. He says, as a quote, I have to scroll to find it because I wrote this article already. God, I forgot that I wrote a bunch of other stuff. He said the others' tolerance of your style is dynamic and not fixed. There's an aperture of acceptability in how you dress that often widens over time. So it's like an aperture, like a camera. It's not a fixed thing. It's not a fixed lens. You can whatever. You can open and close. And I really like that. And I was very intrigued. And we had a really good conversation, which I've summarized in the blog post there. But I thought it was interesting that to kind of go into it with that in mind. Like a lot of guys who get into menswear will assume like, oh my god, like I have to find whatever that like that point is and then stay there. Like you don't want to go too much. And I guess that's not entirely a bad thing. Like not everyone is into this like we are or like I am, where I wouldn't say I dress to push the boundaries of people's expectations or to subvert anything or to make like a crazy statement, but like it just inherently looks that way just because like of how I dress. But I like that, again, he's coming at it from a like, oh, like I know that people will be able to understand this, or like I can, like people's tolerance will expand and people can be there. He's not scared of, of having to reel it in because he's a menswear guy, especially at this point. Like, he's had a couple of big boy full-time corporate jobs. And this might be an example of like, okay, well, if he's on his like second or third one, he knows that people get used to it. It's not like, you're a freshman or not a freshman, you're a senior out of college, doing your first job and you love wearing fedoras and you're like, wait a minute, can I even do this? Once you pass that point, just like I have, and just like you guys have all had, like you guys know, okay, well, actually you can get away with a lot, and people do get into it, or not get into it, but like people can accept it over time. And I thought it'd be fun to kind of spend a couple of minutes talking about this Aperture and like in your guys' experience in doing that, because I'll finish the Jose part with this, that he intentionally did stuff. And I think one way he said was obviously like, okay, when maybe you'll wear like a sport coat with jeans, or you wear loafers with chinos, right? To kind of like kind of push the boundary a little bit, right? Like you say, okay, look, I'm not wearing a full suit the first day. Like maybe I'll wear a tie with jeans to show that I like wearing ties, but I'm not the fucking corporate suit kind of a dude, yeah. or you do like a canvas sneaker with like a cotton suit and like a polo shirt or a camp collar, something like that, right? Like there's that way, which I think we all know. But the thing that I like the most, and the thing I want to focus on here, is the social aspect of it. And he works with a lot of different teams, and what he did was he worked closely with the creative team a lot, and people can see him doing this. And I would say, he didn't say it's inherently pragmatic, but it is something, like from a job point of view too, like you want to say that you talk to multiple teams and you get along with everybody. And obviously the creative team is creative, and they probably dress differently than the people on his side, like the, more corporate, I don't know what he does, like the logistics side or whatever it is. I know what he does. I'm not going to dox him is what I'm trying to say. But the point was that, by showing this kind of mingling stuff, it shows another facet to him, professionally, right? Like he's personable, but also like he likes to be a part with that side of the company or whatever he works for. And naturally, I guess it would make sense for that guy to be wearing more creative outfits to kind of show that kind of mingling, like kind of literally wearing it on his sleeve. And at this point now, it makes sense for this guy to be wearing like Gurkha pants with like a camp collar shirt with loafers, like it's a creative way of dressing, and it's obviously very menswear friendly. And also if he wore like a suit with like a denim shirt and like a knit tie, like I think that like that makes sense for that guy. And I like that he found the social way of doing it, because I think that's something that people don't talk about that often, right? It's always about how you do it within pieces, but like there are things that you can do intentionally that can help widen that aperture. And I don't know, I guess I'm just kind of curious how you guys do, because I know how I've done it, but if you guys can read the blog post, and I'll get into it in a second. But like MJ, what about you? Because you're relatively new, right? Like, is there like, what did you do socially that obviously includes some kind of styling on your end, but like what did you do to kind of like push that envelope in a sense? I'm kind of just, because obviously not all your friends or even your coworkers might not be used to some of your more bolder outfits, but
yeah, I mean, it's
I'm
just
sure now they are.
It's just kind of like almost like gamifying, or like making it like a challenge for myself to kind of keep dressing, I guess. Like I don't think there's at least for me there's like anything particularly special in the approach, I guess. Like there's no secret sauce or shortcut, I guess. It's just like
but how did you deal with it socially? You know what I mean? Like did you like did you push it like when you're going out with your family, for example, right?
Sure.
Like, were you wearing like a suit right away, or did you like pepper it in? I can't remember. It's been years at this point, right? But like, do you happen to remember what that was like, or did you like? I don't know. Like, was it mainly just wearing it out, or like did you do anything else? You know what I mean?
I mean, I guess I'd have to think about it a little bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Spencer, what about you? Well, yeah. Go ahead, MJ.
Yeah. Move on to Spencer.
Okay. Well, Spencer, yeah. So what about you? Because obviously you're. I mean, think of high school. Like, think back here. Like, did you, like I'm again socially speaking here. Like, how did you think that you got? Like, how did you widen?
I don't know. I mean, in general, I just kind of wore what I wanted to wear. But I think it's like easier when you're with a crowd, and this is something that we've talked about a lot on this podcast and our episodes about going out and the importance of having a community and standing out and stuff like that. But like, I don't know. I'm even thinking about just like last night when we were at this bar by my house, which is not a very fancy place, and several people were dressed up, and the bouncer outside was like asking us as we're leaving, like, what's the occasion or whatever, like, why is everyone dressed like that? And it's like, I don't know, it's like when you have a group, when you have a lot of people, it is like people can just tell, oh, there is some sort of occasion, there's some reason for you guys to be dressed up like this, and the reason is like we like it, but I think I don't know, I think it's just there's strength in numbers. It's easier when you're with a crowd to like kind of be a little bit more out there.
Yeah, I guess let me give it this way. Like, do you guys how do you guys push or open the aperture within like the places that you frequent, or like for example, like I guess you're Spencer, but like with the job, obviously you've been there for a year or two at this point, but like was there anything like that you did other than like wearing the clothes? Like, do you recognize that you did anything else, or was it really just wearing it? Because like I guess I'll finish with more of my thoughts, or I have additional things, but
I don't know. It's, I think, involved like kind of cultivating like more than just clothes, but having just kind of your own like aesthetic look. And so like in my office, I have some random like little like at my cubicle, I have a bunch of random little old antique knickknacks or like old books or whatever, stuff like that, to just so when people see it, it's like, oh yeah,
it makes sense. Yes, there you go. Yeah. That's very similar to like wearing the clothes, right? Like when you are able to decorate your space. Like, okay, so the reason I think about this is because maybe I just have more of like a limited interaction, and I'm mainly on social media for that reason. So like when people see my social media, like when they follow me, they're like, oh, this guy posts about like old, like, or talks about movies, or like does cosplay, or I guess LARPing, and like, okay, it makes sense that guy would wear a suit. Like there's this element of like performativity that I don't think that is like mandatory, right? Like it doesn't matter. Like even if you weren't into all the knickknacks stuff, like you could still dress how you want. Like you could still like the clothes without also liking knickknacks. But I think it's just like you have the opportunity to do so. That kind of help provide that like extra context, right? Like I think that's kind of like what Jose was doing. Like obviously, if has a very corporate job, maybe he doesn't get to do knickknacks. But like by interacting with people and like bringing up creative ideas, or also like literally being creative at your job, I feel like that kind of like adds to like the whole character that you are.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
And I think thinking of, again, social media for me, there's like one thing where like it would be weird, like if you saw me right in college, right, like when I first got into this, or started expanding to like vintage and stuff like that. But like if you were to add me on Facebook, and then you would see like I went to a vintage event with this bald-headed, well, I guess you weren't bearded yet, but like this other guy who also does it. Like people go, oh, so he does that in his free time. So if he's wearing that, in front of me, like it makes sense, and so people get used to it. Like the aperture opens in that way, socially speaking, or I guess through social media. But then I was thinking also about like places like my cafe that I go to a lot, where or like, I don't know, let's say the trivia, right, where like the first time you go there, like it's fucking weird, but like the more you go there, like, oh, these guys also win, so maybe like the guys who know random facts also like wearing fedoras, and they come to the bar all the time, like I feel like it it widens it there. And like people can be like people at the bar now are used to it. I don't know if they like it, but I mean I'm a regular there. They know what my order is. You know, they know that I sit in the same spot. They know my friends come in. They know my friends are also going to be wearing, you know, the same kinds of clothes. And like there's that kind of like that way of doing it. Like there is an element of like just straight up wearing it, and I think, but like there's this social aspect that I really really like, where it's like it takes that you have to like kind of go out there, right? Like I think maybe if I was younger, it's harder. You know, you go to a new job, you start having new friends, you know, you move to a new city, and maybe you don't want to go out guns blazing with a fedora. And you want to, like, at first, like with a job, right? You want to prove that you are good at what you are doing. It's like with Jose or whatever, like your primary concern is not standing out or making a character for yourself, but like, okay, you want to be a good worker first, and then you get into it. But I feel like there's something there with like having the gall to do both, you know, like you're wearing the suit and fedora, but also you're really good at sales, or you're really good at coming up with creative ideas, or you're just like, you just know the processes super well. And I feel like that goes a lot of way in like just being like a well-rounded, sociable kind of like person. Like I think it would be weird if I went to a bar in a fedora and like didn't interact with anybody. Like you don't want that, right? It's like the whole thing of like wearing like going to a bar to read, you know, like there's nothing wrong with that, but I think people make fun of it now because like it is performative. Like you go there to be like all you're doing is being seen, and obviously it's hard nowadays to not know if someone's being genuine or not, because like there's a whole layer of irony and like social media to it. But like I think it's fun, like, you know, if you go to the bar with a book, but then you also make conversation with the bartender, right? Like that way you're like, okay, like you're there, like you want to read, but like you're not like closing yourself off, you know, you're not just to be seen. And obviously that's hard. Again, like I said, hard with social media, where like it is kind of like a one-way thing where people are forced to kind of consume what you look like. But I think it's like, yeah, it's important to like to show it. And the reason I bring up the bar thing is because after I went to go see the musical Here Lies Love, which is about the Imelda Marcos and the Marco administration dictatorship in the Philippines, which is like kind of like an evil version of Evita, which I've never seen either, by the way. But my family got out like at 10 or whatever, and everyone went home, and I'm like, well, I want to go out, but like no, like I want to do something. I didn't want to just go home, and I wanted the excuse to like read. I didn't want to drink coffee at 10 o'clock at night, so I went to the bar where my friend was working, and I brought my book, and I was expecting to like hang out at the bar and talk to her, but they were really busy. But I wasn't going to go back in my car and go back home after finding parking in Echo Park. So I sat at a table, and at the time, everyone was like crowded around the bar. People were ordering drinks, but the tables themselves were not like where they were open. So I sat at a table, and I started reading, and I'm like, and at some point, like as people kind of started, after they got their drinks and everything, people started like kind of like moving to other stuff. Obviously people don't want to disturb me because like you know, but I'm like, you know, if people did take the other tables next to me, I'm like, yeah, please sit down here. But I must have looked like a fucking asshole wearing like a fucking like a double-breasted suit, with like my little book on John Williams and my little highlighter and like little post-it tabs and everything like that. And the thing was, my friend who was bartending was so busy. There were so many people there, and it was like I couldn't even like guys, I'm cool too. Like I'm friends with the bartender. Like I'm just here to hang out. But like I'm like, no, I look so stupid, you know. But you know, like on a normal day, I think like last time I went there by myself, like I brought a graphic novel and I sat at the bar, and then like I talked to my friend Erica, the bartender, about it. Then like a person, like when I walked outside to wait for her to close up, like a guy asked me about my graphic novel, and like that's what I want. I want like the interaction of like, hey guys, I'm just reading, I'm just cool, it's just a nighttime, I'm just having a little drink by myself. But anyway, my point was like there is like the point is to like, I guess, make a character in a positive way where like it makes sense, because I think the people's fears are like that clothing exists in a vacuum, and it doesn't, but there is this opportunity to like do things to widen that aperture of acceptability. And I think looking back, Spencer, obviously like us together being out there at like Old Town Orange, I think like, okay, those like it makes sense. And I feel like when people say, hey Spencer, like what are you doing? So I'm hanging out with my friend Ethan, we're wearing suits and eating burgers, like okay, like there's like a context to it. And I think people, and especially now, I think, you know, we live in a good time where people like context and people appreciate it and people accept it. Like I think it goes a long way to kind of provide that for people. You know, like to like, talk about, like, you like talking about movies, and people who like movies are quirky, interesting people, so it makes sense that your style is like that. Or like you do like crafts, right? Like I feel like, if you have a quirky style and you're out there drawing or painting or whatever, like that's like a kind of way to kind of like do that. And and a big part, there's a big part in like talking. Like you meet someone new and someone goes like, why do you dress like that? You say, yeah, it's Tuesday. And they're like, what the fuck? But then you talk to them more, like, oh, this person might find out some more stuff about you, and I guess I'm kind of curious if you guys have ever like kind of done stuff like that, or you guys remember like when you guys started out like that way at all. Did you guys remember anything? Do you remember any anecdotes now? Do you have enough time to fucking think about it? I mean, it probably helped. Yeah. Go ahead.
I mean, I guess it's like what you're saying for like sprinkling things, and you mean like not going like full send in like at like. Right.
I guess in spades, but I guess it just kind of it just depends on like what you're doing or how you do it. Like
I guess it just kind of scaled with like me getting used to wearing clothes and part. Stuff like that,
I think it's interesting. Like it must be interesting to like you make more friends, or you start expanding your circles, you start your career as you get into clothing, versus starting already but you're crazy. I think that's my issue. Like I'm already like, I got into this more than 10 years ago.
I guess maybe I felt like I had to like catch up too, or like in a way it's like accelerated. Mm-hmm. To I mean, like when we go out, or if we're going out somewhere that's like I don't want to say not as nice, but like a little bit more casual, but we dress the way that we do.
It's not a menswear event. Like the dressing up isn't like the theme of the place or whatever,
that like I guess at first it's taken into more consideration.
Here's the thing I thought about, and I wrote this at the end of the article. I'm having the same epiphanies at the same time. But I think that sometimes I mean this, and please don't clip this in like the wrong way, but sometimes I am the aperture. I widen it for other people. By that I mean, like you said, MJ, if you're getting into this and you're like, oh man, I want to wear this, but that's be crazy. You're like, wait a minute. Ethan's gonna be there in riding boots and a Tyrolean hat. It doesn't fucking matter what I'm wearing. Everyone's gonna be looking at that guy. Then you're like, you're okay. And so like the aperture of acceptability, both for your own taste, like, oh, is this acceptable for me, and for other people, is like the bar is already wherever, because I'm already going to be there pushing that limit no matter where I'm going, like that's like, we talked about this yesterday, like, right, like with the whole thing. I wonder if I was wearing a different suit or whatever, we might have still gotten the dressed up comments. But again, yesterday for Spencer's birthday, Spencer was the most casual. Like, I would say, like, you're like, even Jay, right? Like, Jay was more dressed up than you are, and we'll talk. This is another example of who is more formal, who is more dressy. But Spencer's wearing a rayon polka dot shirt. I guess polka dots could be crazy, hey, jury's out. Spencer's wearing that. MJ, and wearing jeans. Jay is wearing a gray, like, point collar shirt. So like kind of chic. It's dark. It's like a mid gray shirt with cream military pants and boat shoes. MJ kind of has a crazy outfit, but probably one that is kind of like more fashion and more dressed down, because MJ, you were wearing, you could tell us.
The chambray shirt, vintage striped tie. It was like a brown. It's like brown, Deco green, stripe, yellow. OG 107s, pair of boots, and
classic
ring jacket, DB blazer.
Very Japanese Americana, very amikaji, that kind of look. And then there's Ethan wearing a gray suit with a blue striped shirt and a brown polka dot tie. Now, safe by menswear standards, but definitely a little bit more dressy, a little bit more formal, obviously. My girlfriend also wearing a gray ensemble. She was casual because she's not wearing like a fucking button-up shirt or a tie, but she's wearing a gray skirt and a gray blazer with like big combat boots. And it's like, okay, no one's gonna like, no one's gonna be weird about you wearing that because the guy's wearing a gray suit to a Mexican bar that is Elvis themed that has a bunch of Elvis memorabilia on karaoke night. Like that's like what's but also like if you think about like corporate, it's Friday, like this guy could be like on happy hour for corporate stuff, like it's fine, like, and also like no one cared, no one gave us any shit, but like the idea is that not only is there a group there, but there is someone in this group that is crazier than other people. And so like I think that it widens it for everybody, because I've been, and maybe you guys have had this in your own individual groups, but like for me, like people have been like, oh, Ethan's gonna be there, or they tell me like, oh, I know you're gonna be there, so I'm gonna wear something like more like kind of crazier, you know, or it like I wouldn't say it's because of me, but like it also makes like the occasion, right, where like they might not be able to wear that with other friend groups or their other hangouts, but they might be able to do it with me because at least it might be on the same level. Like my friend Arthur, who, as we've seen before, has that crazy like Southwestern like overcoat, like the red one that I posted before, and like that's like, yeah, with some of his other friends from work, maybe I've met his room or one of his coworkers, like, you know, the guy's like a regular guy, super nice, also nerdy, but like obviously it might be weirder to wear that with him, but like if that guy's there, Arthur's there, but also Ethan's wearing riding boots, like okay, like that's fine. Like wherever we're going, we're widening that aperture inherently. And now maybe that friend will get into it, right? Because Arthur's wearing something crazy, I'm wearing something crazy, and you know it helps it, you know. And I remember like Sirhan, for example, same thing too, a relatively new menswear guy. Like to trivia, like obviously he does stuff on his own, but like the trivia, he'll wear a tie because he knows I'll wear a tie, not because I'm wearing a tie, but because like, oh, he likes ties, and this is like the best time to like kind of do it. I do think that trivia also for me, not just being an occasion, but like it's something I look forward to, and I do wear, I think, my boldest outfit that is might be the most embarrassing for other people, you know what I mean? Like I'll wear a fedora to that, I might not wear a fedora to like other outings, just because like I also know that other people like being seen with me, you know, like not that I won't do it. I've worn a Tyrolean hat to Echo Park, but that also was like after I was up to something, so like I wasn't gonna change. I never change. Famously, I wear one outfit a day, but usually I also like take the opportunity the opposite. Like if we're going somewhere like cool and chic, I want to dress cool and chic because I own cool and chic items, you know. But like trivia is my thing. I'm gonna win in the fedora, you know. But this idea of like dressing brings me to like my last point here, where Jose finished by telling me like he, you know, by wearing this stuff and you know, obviously answering questions at his work or with new friends or blah blah blah, he said like it's a tribute to all of the extreme dressers that he got inspired by and people that he met before in the past. And he told me how when he was in college, he went to school in the South, and there was one friend of it, and you know, the South has like fratty clothing, etc. There's also a lot of prep, and he met a guy in college who dressed like in Tread Ivy. He showed me a picture, like this guy, like OCBD blazer rep type. Looks really good. Looks like the fucking traditional Peanut and Berkeley Breeze and Dick Carroll, like all these guys who dress like, who do it like to the nth degree, you know, like really good. Also Christopher Pizarro, all these great guys, all these really well dressed dudes, and like. Even though Jose is not like Ivy like that all the time, because he knows how that guy must, you know, how that hanging out with that guy and getting him into like Shaggy Dog sweaters, J Press, Brooks Brothers, like, you know, it's his way of honoring that guy and like what that guy did for him and his comfortability. Because like like with me and Sirhan, like you're hanging out with this guy, okay, I can wear, even though I'm not going to be an Ivy, I can still wear a sport coat with a polo shirt, you know. And then he, you know, when he moved to New York or whatever, or Jose, you know, got into, you know, gets into like ring jacket and stuff like that. And of course you meet guys in the Alfargo's, you know, team who push those boundaries. And the more you do it, you know, you get used to it and you widen your own acceptability of what you think is good for yourself. And I think that's really cool to dress in a way that like, you know, that gives tribute to them. Like, you know, I can think of guys like Benny, Mark Chevalier, all and you know, Damien, and also like you, Spencer, also, you know, like when we dress up, it's like, okay, like, well, I know Spencer's doing that. It's like I want to honor that person, that, you know, because like it would be so much harder for me to have done this if it was just me. I'm sure I would have, but like it's like, you know, with everybody else, like it makes sense to, you know, like, because it's always, dressing is a very social thing, and I know that today, like, I'll still do it because I know other people might go like, okay, that random dude at the bar might be like, oh, if that guy can do it, he can, like, I can do it too in my own way. It could be a friend like Sirhan or like MJ, obviously, right? Or it could be someone who is just out there, you know. And I think about the same thing on social media as well, which is why, you know, one of the big issues with me going private was like I don't want to deny people the inspo that is Ethan, but like the idea like that anyone can do this. And I think that's a big part about the Aperture of Acceptability that I really liked, where it is dynamic, and we should do it not just for ourselves, but for like other people who you know, we do need, especially like fragile straight men or whatever, who need that kind of like that confidence. They need to see like it's okay, you know. And because I'm a bold person, I feel like it's good to kind of like help those guys out by wearing it, you know. And again, some of that is obviously a big part of it, like I said, is like being social and like being open to answering questions and being encouraging, stuff like that. But I don't know, do you guys remember anyone when you guys were growing up? Like I guess I'm more curious for Spencer, like who was like bold for you? Like I guess there was that guy Josh, right, in your high school.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, like that was one of the first people I saw that was doing vintage stuff. I think it helped that I was doing everything so young, and I kind of, I don't know, had that confidence, and people generally don't talk to kids who are dressed weird and be like, why are you dressed weird?
Really? So I feel like people do that.
Well, not in my case. I'm gonna be honest. People. I never got much pushback. I never got much. No one ever said, "Why are you dressed like that? You're dressed weird." I never really got many questions. And so I don't think I ever needed to widen the aperture for myself. It's always this is just I always dress like this. And at a certain point, it just became normal, and I'm not going to change for anyone else. So that's honestly my answer, is I feel like I never really had to widen the aperture. I just don't care. Like, I don't care about...
Was there anyone there who you were like, wow, they're doing it, you know what I mean? Like, you know, or were you always just, I guess, yeah, like you said, you had the gumption to kind of just do it?
You know, I'd look at Dandy Williams on Instagram, and I'd be like, maybe I won't dress
Dandy
like
Wellington?
that. Danny Wellington. Yeah, like I'd see him on Instagram and I'd be like, wow, that's crazy. I don't know if I'd wear that. Like, but at least in my personal life now, I don't know. I just dressed how I wanted. Like, I feel like everything else was like that kind of happened, you know, to kind of put together this like aesthetic world that I like, kind of just happened naturally. So.
You know,
I just wore what I liked, and you know, like I said, I got used to it, and this is just what's in my closet now. I can't change.
This is interesting. I feel like this is going to be too big for this particular thing, but I do want to bring this up because this is interesting with MJ. I feel like this is like almost like a white person thing because because I think there's like this sense of this push to be homogenous that comes with, I guess, like people of color sometimes. Like I think because like the Swagapino thing is a good example, and we talked about this. We might have already talked about it in the Asian American thing, but there's this idea that I remember growing up with, where like, you know, you gotta dress like everybody else, like, and not just because it's like it's cool, but also because like that's just like what we dress like. You know what I mean? And I feel like that made it so much harder when I was younger. Like there's like this unstated but also kind of stated thing of like we gotta do this whole thing together, and I wonder if it's like there's some kind of thing, you know, and this also again could also just be in my head as well, but like, you know, where you can't be, as a person of color, you can't be too much of like a joke, because like that's like another thing for people to like other you know what I mean? And like there's this aspect of like, I mean, I remember reading, I don't know where it is, like there's this aspect of like being cool where like, and maybe this is like about like black musicians or whatever, but like being cool was a way to like raise your social aspect, you know, and that's also been a thing for a long time, right? To kind of be accepted within the mainstream culture, mainstream white culture, whatever. And while clothing is agnostic in that way, I think this is my point, is more so for like you don't want to have something else to call attention. Like you gotta have like this kind of camaraderie, you know. And I think like going to the church, right? Like I had my friends who dressed like in a very like swag way. Like I guess I'm talking about like my people growing up with like Shane and Vincent, and like it's it adds an extra layer of like you're dressing different, but you're also like kind of rejecting what we all dress like. It's almost like, you're doing a Filipino thing and you're deciding to not wear a barong. It is kind of like, okay, well, why can't you just participate? And it is like a weird thing there where it's not about exactly rejecting identity or people thinking that it's about finding your own thing. But I think back then, I guess with the earlier stages of the internet, compared to today, I feel like that was like a little bit harder, and like why, like I was so sensitive to like expanding that aperture of like I'm still Filipino. I'm also like, it's, I guess I don't know if I'm cool, but it's like I can still like I'm still belong, like I still have like agency or whatever, and it's not antagonistic, I guess. I don't know. MJ, what do you think?
Yeah, I don't know what else to say. Kind of said pretty much it. How it's just like, this is like identity almost, or it's just like like you kind of have to do it. Like I don't know. It's
like being different, right?
Yeah, it's a weird feeling because it's like, obviously, well, maybe not obviously. Maybe I don't know if you had friends or I had a couple friends where it's like you're kind of encouraged to join in or like lean into it, because maybe not necessarily like in a bad way, like as far as like being
like bullied or whatever.
Yeah, bullied or like othered by like your fellow Asians, fellow Filipino Americans, that they also want to like include you, because like being part of that group, being that like together, sort of like helps the herd, to put it one way, I guess.
Yeah, I guess it's kind of like how, like for a long time, right? The black nerd, like I don't know if you call it that stereotype, like trope or whatever. For like a long time, like that was like kind of like hard to do, but like nowadays, like it's like its own thing. They're just nerds now.
Yeah.
I think that it's different with like vintage, like or also like the idea of like wearing a suit or whatever. But there's like this kind of similar idea there where to do uncool things is like bad, and people don't want to do uncool things because, again, that's another way of like not like just, it's anti-assimilation, homogeneity or whatever. But like I think, yeah, it sucks to kind of do that, but to the point is like, by expanding that, I think it's important that way other people can do it. Like I thinking back now toward, again, that Asian American article where we talked about, where it's like, well, for me it was like, why is there, like, obviously we see a bunch of like the Japanese tailors, Chinese tailors, people in the Philippines wearing suits, but like why is there no like Asian Americans doing it? Like, is there some like, and not saying that there's like an anti thing, but like there just should be a reason, like there should be some examples of it now, and now there is. I mean, maybe again it used to be like, when I was starting, there wasn't as big of a social media, like Instagram came out like 2008 or whatever, and I was like 12 years old. Yeah. but like nowadays, like the aperture is widened like now. Yeah. And I also think it's also because of like growing up with uniform also makes it be like it pulls a lot of attention, like what you wear outside of it. So like if you're also weird if you're dressing weird outside of uniform, it's like, who the hell is this guy?
Yeah, again, because like you also don't get the opportunity to
ease into it.
Yeah, to ease into it, or like try different things otherwise when you're not wearing uniform.
Yeah, I think that's like a big thing. Yeah, uniforms are bad, guys. I think that's like, there's a whole episode of Articles of Interest about that. But yeah, I think all of that, like growing up in that way, and and let's say like my friends all stood out in different ways. Like obviously that's how I got comfortable with like being weird or whatever. But they didn't dress like that outside of like maybe wearing like fandom T-shirts or whatever. But my whole point is like, I think I always knew, thankfully, that the acceptability, the aperture was dynamic, and you can push it, even if it takes some like strife. And I guess it gets easier or better when you get older. You get to be smarter about how you do it, and especially with corporate stuff, it makes sense. Like with Jose kind of like working with creative teams. Like for me, obviously, like I wouldn't say, again, it's performative in the sense that you're doing something, but like when people say, how was your weekend? Like, I talk about some movie I watched. I don't say like, oh, I bought a bib French. Like, I'm not telling people that. But like, if I say like, oh, I went to go see like a movie on 35 millimeter, or people just know like I post stuff on Instagram, or I wrote a blog or whatever. Like, it adds to that character. People get used to like who you are in general, and like your stuff like makes sense like the more you do it. And I think that's kind of an important part where like you can do intentional things to widen the aperture for yourself. Obviously for yourself, like looking at inspo, looking across, to find out what you like, but also like social, like for your own outfits out in the real world. Like there's ways to kind of like do that, to like participate and do things and make it so that the whole point is like it's not just about the clothes, like it's just what you happen like to be wearing. Yeah, MJ.
Yeah, I think what helps, or I guess for me, my epiphany this time, what it like boiled down to is we all kind of had interests and hobbies before getting into clothing or getting into menswear. So it's just kind of like maintaining, or like keep doing what we've always been doing while while wearing.
Yeah, it was like our only thing at that time.
Yeah, so it's like going to like card shops, going to like bookstores, going to like all these places where not like menswear places or fashion places, but like still being part of the things that we've always liked, and like getting caught reading manga somewhere, like wearing what we wear.
It just adds. I think also the big difference here, Spencer was in drama.
Okay.
There we go. There's the ultimate context. See, that's the thing, right? Like I'm so theater kid energy. Not energy, I am with my soul. But don't have theater. Never had theater in school or whatever, so I never could fucking do it. So I feel like that would have been the ultimate context, but it never happened. Which is weird because Filipinos like singing, but like they just didn't have the opportunities to sing in that way. But anyway, guys, go out there, push the limits, do it, and do it for the people out there again who might need you to see it. Like, I'm sure, I don't know, maybe when they say Spencer will find a guy from his old high school that doesn't exist anymore and be like, I saw you and I wanted to start wearing suits.
That's right.
We'll
discover this.
Yeah, be stopped on the street.
He'll find you in person.
Yeah, leave a comment on the blog post if you guys have any thoughts and stuff, like stories about your Aperture of Acceptability and how you guys push it. I would love to, to share it in the next episode, So there's a blog post about this topic. There's also a separate blog post about the bib front shirt, because I thought I could put the two in one, because I've been doing that kind of like Substack thing where there's multiple topics in one blog post. But I had too much to say about the bib front shirt, and so that is too just like that time where I had like 3 blog posts, because it was like one about going private, one about like reflecting on myself, one about all this kind of stuff, and there was like 3 blog posts released for one episode, one podcast. But that's what you do on the blog versus the pod. So go ahead and do that. If you want to talk to us directly, inspire some new topics. Jose's not even a sad head, which is great because he's an IRL friend. So there you go. That's the real secret. You don't have to pay $5, but if you do, give us $5. I guess you give us each $2.30. No, 175. I don't know what the fucking, I can't do math in my head that fast. But $5 a month gives you access to our Discord community, where we talk about everything from the J Press and Tyler the Creator thing, which we didn't get to talk about this time, but I did mention it in my blog post. But look about that. Talk about stuff like that, the Ralph Lauren shows, movies, stuff like that. You can go to patreon.com/downdirection. $5 a month gives you access to that, and our library of bonus episodes where we talk about Marty Supreme, Train Dreams, The Adventures of Tintin, which is animated menswear. That might be our first animated movie, I guess, or it will be. Yeah. I mean, I guess we talked about kind of like Ghibli clothing before, but like a whole blog post would be kind of fun. So all of that, if you like movies and stuff, $5 a month. 10 gives you nothing extra, but we do thank you personally. MJ, who are we thanking?
We're thanking our Sadcast fanatics, Shane Curry, Philip Gregard, Henrik Wilberg, and Talbot.
We appreciate you guys so much. Follow us on Instagram at Style and Direction. I've been Ethan M. W.
I'm Spencer.
We're gonna cut.
And I'm MJ.
We're gonna cut. We'll do that again. I'm Ethan.
I'm Spencer.
And I'm MJ.
There we go. We'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.